Where do I start? So, this Denver scientist claims that if 10 million or more people spin their fidget spinner in the same direction at the same time, it will throw the Earth off the center of its gravity. This is the most idiot, unscientific, brain fart thing that I've ever heard of in my life. Number one, gravity does not exist. Screw Newton. The only thing Isaac Newton proved is that the apple was heavier than the atmosphere it was falling through. We know this because if I'm in a canoe on an ocean, it will not pull me to the center of the earth. What we deal with and what people confuse for gravity is mass versus density. Yes, you can prove this for yourself. And if they really wanted to prove that gravity does what it does, all NASA would really have to do is zoom in on Australia, show us traffic moving live, let us see planes flying upside down. Wouldn't that be damning evidence to flat earthers? That would be proof of a globe, right? And that gravity exists. We want to see the water being held upside down. They could do this if satellites really existed. Satellites don't exist either. This might be a bit much for a lot of people, that everything you know is fake. Let me tell you why satellites don't exist. They're made out of gold and aluminum. Find out the melting temperature of gold and aluminum. Gold and aluminum melts at around 1200, 1250 degrees. Where satellites reside is called the thermosphere. When you say thermal, you're dealing with heat, right? Do you know the temperature of the thermosphere in a 24-hour period? It goes from 200 degrees to almost 2000 degrees, proving something made out of gold and aluminum could not exist in that environment. So we know that this is bogus and bullshit. Somebody asked me, so how do satellite phones work? They don't work with satellites. They found ways to bounce signals off the dome and make you believe satellites. Yeah, they shoot them up, but they bounce off the firmament and come right back to cell towers. That's how you get your service. Okay? And 99% of your internet is undersea cables that they laid in the 20s. It's since then. They didn't have satellites in the 20s, but they had intercontinental cables on the bottom of the oceans. They use those same things to transfer your internet, your Google, and your YouTube, and your Facebook, and your whatever. Find out for yourself. Don't listen to me. I'm like Morpheus. I can only open the door and give you certain facts to go check up on and see that they don't make sense. We know they don't make sense because flat earthers do experiments. We don't sit behind computers and go to these government sites full of misinformation to keep you under ball theory. We do real world experiments. We know the sun is close. We know the sun and the moon are the same size. We know that they are not thousands of miles away. We know stars are not suns. Thanks to a Nikon P900 and real telescopes, because digital telescopes have pre-programmed images in them. Check it out if you don't believe me. I don't want you to believe me. I want you to research and find out for yourself. Coming to that revelation is better than anybody telling you anything. 3 years. And I know a lot more that I won't go into, because this may be too much for people as it is. But you need to realize these facts, that a lot of real life is not real life, and certain things don't exist. We do not live on a globe. There is no curvature. We can see for miles and miles and miles. Refraction is a myth. When we can see a city 60 miles away across water, It's not a mirage. Mirages are upside down and have an almost mirror effect and a wavy kind of thing and a distortion. The images we see are solid. The buildings have lights in them. Like the Chicago picture from the other side of Lake Michigan. You've probably all seen that. I know this video is pretty long, but I had to do this because this Denver scientist, he got me tight with that. And I don't want people to believe that stupidness. But if they want to do that, let's all get spinners. Everybody tell a friend to get a spinner. Let's set a date and a time to spin them all the same direction and prove this idiot wrong. And pseudoscience, period, wrong. I don't know what else I can say. You guys have a good one. I will be making more videos for you though.